Hey friends, thanks for coming back to my channel. This is another layout for My Creative Scrapbook Kit Club, and it is based on their monthly sketch, which is provided by the lovely Lori Whitlock. There is a sketch each month, and I have to admit my layout doesn't quite turn out like the sketch, but it was definitely inspired by, and I think that's the point. It doesn't have to be an exact replica. I think it's meant to inspire you, get, something on paper, and if it doesn't turn out like the sketch, that's okay. If it does turn out exactly like the sketch, then that is totally fine too. But for me, in this case, it gave me an idea of what I wanted to do. I had this photo of my daughter who is wearing my hat. She likes to steal my hats, and she looks so cute. And I had printed it smaller, and I was able to trim it to the same size as the cards, the cut apart cards on one of the pattern papers in the kit. And I picked the two that I liked that would be placed on either side of the photo. And the sketch shows what appears like a single strip of paper to the top and the bottom, and that's a little too clean for me. So I decided to just tear some strips, and not everybody is a fan of that, but I prefer to have it a little messy and a little well, just not straight basically. So I mimicked that on the top and the bottom. And in the kit, like I've mentioned in a previous video, there is a white burlap ribbon that came with it, and I cut it in half lengthwise and sort of frayed it a little bit, not too much because it will actually come apart. And I just thought it would be fun to stick it in between the layers. So that's what you see me doing there. And it's hard to see in the photo, in the video, but in the photos and in real life, you can see. And it's just an added touch for texture. And I really like the way that it looks. So I tucked a couple of pieces, one in the top, one in the bottom. So the top and the bottom are basically, mirroring each other. They're not exactly the same shape, but I think it balances the layout, and it provides a balance to me in terms of the photo, and the cards on either side are so square, which is why I couldn't put just a square, like, straight strip at the top and the bottom. To me, that just looks too neat. That's just my style. And I won't even place those three, like the two cards in the photo, completely straight. I am going to put them at an angle. And I couldn't even put them down without distressing the edges. So I'm using my Tim Holtz distresser. And I just felt like it was too clean. It needed to match the layers of paper at the top and the bottom that were torn and messy. And so to add a little bit more texture, I am going to hand stitch around that heart on the pink card. It says cold, nose, warm, and then it has the heart. And there is a white line around that heart, which actually is not specifically the outline. It's kind of a messily drawn heart, if that makes sense. But once you stitch, you can't really tell. These are pink thickers from American Crafts. Those are also in the kit. And I thought I would use the sweet and the heart as my title underneath my photo. But I thought it was too big. And I felt like there was too much pink because of the pink card. So I don't end up using it. And my title just ends up being cold, nose, warm, heart. And I know that's kind of cheating a little bit, but I just thought that bringing in the pink thickers was too much pink. And I'm okay with that. I don't always feel like you have to have a specific title with thickers or, words already spelled out. So that is what I decided to do. I did back my photo and those two cards on the left and the right with other pattern papers just to give them another couple of layers. And I am popping up my photo that will be in the center up on some fun foam, which is just fun foam I get from Walmart. It's really cheap and easy and quick to use. Using double-sided tape for the other two cards, which is what I use most often for paper. If it's a small piece, I will use my liquid adhesive that's in my fine line bottle. I put Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in that, and I love that. So that and double-sided tape are my go-to, usually 1/4 inch double-sided tape. So I go through a lot of that. And I know some people might think that that's a waste. I have a couple of regular tape runners in the little cartridge. But I find that over time, that does not last. I have albums that I've made and pages that I've made, 10, 15 plus years ago, and things are falling off. So, yeah, I'm not using that anymore, I use it for temporary things. Like if I'm not sure that I'm going to leave something in a place, I use that because I know I can pull it up and then rub off the adhesive. So, there you go. That's my little adhesive rant. So, I'm pretty sure that most of what I'm doing is pretty self-explanatory, and this is, it's a simple layout. It's a easy design that a lot of people can accomplish, and I think the result is beautiful pretty much every time. And it came together pretty quickly, but I had the sketch to spark some inspiration, and I added some of the touches that made it my own. That little banner that was on the left card was really bothering me. I did not like what it said. It's not that I didn't like it. I just didn't want it there. So I tried a few different things to cover it up. And I really didn't want to have to add something there, but I did not want that showing. I didn't think the black was, it's in black, and it just stood out to me. And it says flurries of fun, and it's not a snow picture, so I don't know why it was bothering me so much, but it was. But you'll see what I end up doing. I did bring in my Nuvo shimmer pen, and I've mentioned in past couple of videos, I am pretty much using that on everything I can because I love using it. It just adds so much shimmer, and I have 2 of them, which is good because I'm sure I'm going to run out of that one pretty quickly. So there I am cutting out a couple of circles on the pattern paper. They have little snowflakes in them, and I cut out 2, and I add some shimmer to them, and I pop one up with some adhesive foam, and that is what I use to cover that black little banner that I do not want there. So sorry, flurries. I just had such a problem with it, with this layout. And do you ever find that there's just something that you want to use, but it's not right? I mean, I'm sure that happens all the time, but it's just paper, right? It's not a kidney. It's just paper. But it felt like it was staring me like in the face. So anyway, that little snow globe, I actually fussy cut that out from another pattern paper. There are some die cuts and chipboard that have that same image, but they were too big. So I just lapped that over the heart that I hand stitched around. And I am going to add another couple of die cuts on the card to the left, that little house and the little penguin. And I'm going to use that card to add my journaling. And it's not a spectacular moment. It's not any special event. We were in the car and she stole my hat, and I thought she looked cute with her little face. And this was still at a time where she didn't fight me to take a photo. She would still allow it and not cover up her face. So those moments were treasured. That banner is one of the die cuts, and I, of course, add some shimmer to it, and I put some small foam dots in the center, and then I sort of bent it in a way that it would pop up, obviously with the help of the pop dots, just so it wasn't completely flat. And other than adding some splatters with some shimmers, and then my Nuvo crystal glaze is what I am adding there on the snow on the house, and I added on the snow globe. just some random pieces here and there. I am enjoying using that stuff. It comes out of the bottle so easily. And I like the added dimension and shine it gives. So, you know, a pretty simple layout, and then it's just some touches like that really make it your own. So here come the final shots of it. I hope you were inspired by something you saw, and we'll head over and check out the sketch and the monthly kits, because I think you will really enjoy them. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. I will be back soon with another video.